Welcome back, YouTube, to our, I believe, 5th streaming session. I could be wrong. This could be the 6th for all I remember. We are coming back to finish Mason's route and possibly start Haze this time around. How you doing today, Tasty?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I've got some coffee with me because I was a little sleepy, but I'm good now.
Moist. I had some coffee today too, but I found out I need to do dishes again because I had no spoons to stir with, so I used a chopstick. It wasn't
Oh dear.
it wasn't very optimal, but you know what? It worked. So
Yeah, I mean, it's like those little plastic stir sticks you get at like coffee stores. You know,
right.
it works.
You want to know something
Kinda.
crazy? My mom does not believe that those stir sticks are meant to be used as straws too.
Really?
Yes. Even though they are a straw.
I mean, yeah.
That's why I'm so confused. I'm like, but every coffee place has them. And most of
Yeah.
them stick them in your coffee for you.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that's silly.
it is very silly. So let's continue. So, last thing I remember. Basically because I was, what's the word? Editing the video, the stream.
Mm-hmm.
Last thing I remember was we brought Mason back to our house and we read a book to her and she fell asleep. And we cooked some spaghetti, I think. I could be wrong.
Makeshift spaghetti, I think.
Yeah. And you are the, what's it called? You are Mason this time around. It's not me.
Yes.
But I will be Haze next round, so it will be double duty for me again, just like with Reese. But then Tasty will be back to Graves when we do Graves route.
Yep.
So that's right. Anything else that we need to establish?
I don't think so. I think that's about where we're sitting.
Okay. The other thing maybe we should establish is I was gone for almost a month for extra work and stuff, but we're back now.
Yeah.
We tend to have
exist.
really long hiatuses in between recordings, but we still get the job done.
Eventually.
Right. Also, I don't remember most of the voices, so But-
Avery was
we'll get
more of
back to it. It's fine.
Yeah, no. Avery was more of a you voice, just slightly goofy.
I wake up on the couch with a book in my lap and a crick in my neck. When did I fall asleep? I don't even remember it. Oops. And then I clicked off screen. I'm going to do that there. I feel a warm lump by my side. Is that Mason? Nope, just Mochi. What are you doing, you sack of cat food?
Mer.
He flops over, belly up, and makes biscuits in the air at me. Look at him mug for attention. But seriously, where did she go? She's not anywhere on the couch. Maybe she slept somewhere else. I unfold my creaky legs and look around. Hello, Chowder. How's it going?
Hello.
Thank you for dropping by. Mason? Hey. She's not here. I peek into the bedroom. Not there either. What the hell? How would she leave? She can't open doors. I don't remember opening the door either. Unless I sleepwalked. That wouldn't be the strangest thing to happen to me lately, but I doubt it's likely. I see a flurry of movement from the corner of my eye. Is it her? Nope, just the tree branch outside the window. Oh, maybe that's how. Did she climb out of the window? Why? Sorry, only about to make it during work hours. It's totally fine, Chowder. Thank you for being here, though.
Yeah, thanks for joining us for a bit. Even if it's just, for a little bit.
It's way earlier than I usually get up, but I feel wide awake. There's no use going back to sleep while a certain cat chef is at large. Might as well go out for breakfast. Maybe I'll find her along the way. As I shower and putter around the apartment, I try to think of where she could have gone. She's always got somewhere to be, so I guess it's wherever that is. the, what is it, convenience store.
We don't know that yet.
Of course we know that. It's not like she could have another job, right? Or like a secret date friend. It's something like, no, I'm kidding.
Secret date friend.
Or
that's you.
Or maybe I think back to what Reese said. Maybe she's in trouble or causing trouble. That can't be it. She's not like that. I got ready at a grossly early time. Graves was right. I really am getting used to the cursed day star or whatever nerdy thing he called it.
Ha.
This is the most weird way to describe the sun, you know what I mean?
Yes. But, you know, it's appropriate, I guess.
Mason's probably at the cafe doing prep, but I don't actually know if anyone's opened the floor yet or not. It might even beat Landry to work, assuming he didn't sleep there. I've got a key now, but it feels weird to just, like, show up. What if Mason isn't there yet and it's just me and a bunch of cats? What if What if Graves is wandering around in his pajamas? I don't want to see that.
You do. He's gonna have fuzzy bunny slippers, and then you can make fun of him.
Fuzzy bunny slippers that are black.
Nope,
Okay.
they're gonna be off-brand, and they're gonna be like powder blue, not pink, but like powder blue.
Ah, I don't believe that. I'll
Yes.
kill time before I go in. I want donuts anyway. This place has the best donuts. I feel like I've had them recently, even though I haven't been here in a while. Maybe they're just so good it feels like it was only yesterday. No, it's been about a month, Avery.
Yeah. It's been quite a while.
The owner's absorbed in his own world of coffee and the newspaper. I stand at the counter for a few seconds, waiting for him to notice me. He doesn't. Excuse me. I see his hand reach out, but it's only to scratch the head of the sleeping cat next to him. It hits me as hard as Mason probably punches. I know that cat. Why is she... yourself. I hear ya, what you want? Oh, sorry. Donuts, please? Yeah, I got those. Yeah. Which do you want, or you gonna make me guess? His demeanor is...
Make him guess. I don't know. Pick the favorites. All of the favorites. You suddenly go home with a box of dozen that you didn't want. All of them have the coconut sprinkles on top. You're like,
oh
damn,
no,
I've
not the
been
coconut
conned.
sprinkles. That's the thing is, if you're going to a place where the chef like actually likes to cook, especially if it's like a sushi restaurant, at least where I'm from anyway, if you go to a sushi restaurant and you're like, chef, make me whatever you want, you get the best stuff.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know if that's the same here really, because it's a convenience store.
No, with the convenience store, they're gonna be like, look, I'm gonna have to throw these out tonight. Just take them.
Yeah. His demeanor is so familiar. I glance down at Mason asleep without a care in the world. Cat's not included with the donuts. Aww.
Aww.
But there should be a free cat with every purchase.
Yeah. And then we can name all of them jelly donut, or coconut donut, or cake donut, or like muffin donut.
I'm kind of sad that I named almond tofu because now I want to name her coconut something.
Ha. Coconut milk.
No.
Yes.
Pick what you want unless you're gonna stand there catching flies. Oh, sorry. 2 chocolate, please. It seems way familiar. He turns to get the donuts. Mason hasn't stirred. I'm starting to get nervous. I hope she doesn't freak out if she sees me. So, you like cats? Never cared either way. Nice to have the company. So, she keeps you company? Are you all alone here? Usually. No family or anything? He takes his time putting the donuts in a wax paper bag, meticulously folding the top over and over. He drops the bag on the counter and turns away. Not anymore. Oh, I'm sorry. Why you do something to them? Oh, Why? You do something to them? Oh, no, I mean, just in general, I guess. You know, just as a saying. I reach for the donuts even though I don't need them anymore. The foot in my mouth doesn't leave much room for food. So, hello?
Hello?
Why
Hello
did,
what?
why did the music just, like, cut out all of a sudden? Oh, it's probably because he got interrupted by Mason and something dramatic's gonna happen.
Here we go, and then we're gonna have the loud music again. Welcome back.
That was so abrupt that I was like, what just happened?
It died.
My stream just died. So, do you know anyone named Mace? Ow! Before I can even finish, Mason is a blur. Suddenly she's on me. There's a sharp pain on my hand, a lot of hissing, and a little blood. Ah! Hey! He pulls Mason off me, back behind the counter. She's spitting fury, trying to get at me. I'm too shocked to even move. What'd you do to her? Nothing. I didn't do anything. You saw me. Look, you should go. Sorry. The donuts, sorry. I leave the donuts on the counter and make a run for the door. I keep running.
Man.
Well past the point where I can see the corner store. My hand stings like hell. I think I see some beads of blood at the corners. But that's not what bothers me. What the hell was her problem? Should I even go to work? She'll be there later. What if she goes after me then too? I don't think she'd do that, but I also didn't think she'd scratch me. And look where we are now. My pace slows until I'm just sort of puttering along. I could go home, but I don't think I have any peroxide or bandages. And you know where I'd go for that? The corner store.
Corner store.
I
Yep.
can't wrap my head around it. Whatever the cause, it's hard to feel sympathy for someone who just messed up my hand. Alright,
Yep.
theory time.
Well, I know why, but it's one of those ones where I'm not going to give my input so I don't spoil nothing.
Okay.
But I am going to mention that if a cat does bite you, you really do want to peroxide the heck out of it. They've got some nasty bacteria in their mouth.
Oh, she didn't bite, she scratched.
No,
But-
she bit him.
I don't remember it saying she bit.
Yeah, no, she bit and scratched him. She went all hectic on him.
Obviously, I'm not paying attention, I guess.
It happens. You're focusing on reading, not what you're saying.
That's a problem. You should be listening to what you're saying. I really don't think she bit him, but I will put in a note in the video if I'm right or wrong, so.
Fair enough. But what was your theory?
Oh, I was mostly asking your theory, but since you already know what's going on, then I won't.
Yeah.
Because I really don't have much theory so far. Other than, you know, that's either her father or her grandpa, but I don't really know much else aside from that. I think she ran away from home, and she never came back, so he's really lonely.
Aww.
I'm not feeling any better when I reach the cafe. I see some people-shaped objects in the window. People are here, so I better snap out of it. That looks like Landry and Hayes? I know Hayes won't pry, but Landry's such a mama bird. Well, nothing to do but go for it. I take a deep breath to prepare myself, then open the door.
Hey, Avery!
Well, alright, hold on one sec, okay?
Uh-oh, am I too loud?
Yes.
Of course I am.
Discord caught most of it and got rid of it.
Aww. Do I need to keep talking?
I think we're good. I took you down 10 notches.
Okay.
Alright.
Oh, hey, Avery, Oh my gosh, what happened? We better get you patched up. Nope, it still doesn't like me. I see that.
Okay. Oh, Avery. Come here. We have a first aid kit in the bathroom. Thanks. Hayes runs to the bathroom for the kit. I duck in to wash my hands, then sit in the chair Landry's pulled up. Thanks, guys. It's no big deal. It's just a scratch.
It's best to treat it quickly and effectively. You shouldn't risk infection. You
don't know where strays have been. You could get something like a cat scratch fever.
And then you start dancing.
I thought that was just a song.
See? Avery's got the same mindset as me.
Song? Never mind.
It was a stray though, right? It wasn't one of the cats here or your cat.
Yeah, it was a wild stray.
Okay. I'd be worried if we had a cat who'd become aggressive.
How do you tell him it's our chef who's become aggressive? I think he would understand, though.
She needs her shots. But be careful. Leave it to Graves to bring in the new cat. However, he corrals them and he does it well.
He says some more stuff about stray cats and Graves, but I'm not paying attention. As Hayes patches me up, I peer past them both toward the kitchen. Maybe I've made a mistake. Maybe it wasn't Mason. Could it have been a coincidence where some random cat hates the sound of my voice? It's possible, isn't it? First, Mason doesn't show up. Now this. I knew I felt bad about today. My mouth dries up and I feel my heart stutter. She's not here. Where is she? What if she doesn't come in at all and it's my fault?
Hold on. I got a tickle in the back of my throat.
Drink some water. Here. I shall redeem a hydrate.
Woo, hydrate for the person who doesn't own the channel.
Oh, I don't have a hydrate thing. Oh dear. Also, all my buttons are out of order. I don't know why. Just realized.
I mean, you've been gone for a little while, friendo.
Eh.
It may have just like automatically reset or something.
I don't know about that.
Okay. I'm good now. No more tickle in the throat. I probably shouldn't have eaten those chocolate-covered strawberries before recording. Bad idea. Hayes, don't get too worked up. We've dealt with all sorts of weird things here, right? You can't handle a cat scratch and a little cooking. Those rank pretty low on the weirdo meter.
What do you mean Mason didn't show up? Where is she?
I don't know. We haven't heard anything. But don't worry. She might just be sick or something, you know? We're kind of lax about missed days. You can't exactly call out sick with cat paws.
That is true.
But still, it's not like her to not show up. She's never missed a day.
See? It's always the ones that show up all the time that when they miss a day, people are like, what's going on? The world's on fire! I'm just kidding.
I kind of feel that way because I took a vacation for the first time since November recently. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be gone. But I'm following the group chat for work and everybody's like, wait, what pallets have gotten work? None of them, I'm not there. Can I work this one? Yes, work any of them.
I'm talking more the fact that I did not call in sick for 5 years. And I asked for my birthday off. So in 1 year, I asked for my birthday off, a weekend off on 3 weeks later, and then my engagement week off, basically, so that we could go to Boise. And they were so like, what's going on? And it's like, this shouldn't be a big deal. I've got vacation time. I haven't asked for it in a while. It's not a big deal.
No, it's not.
Anyway.
It happens, though. but I make a pretty mean grilled cheese sandwich. And Hayes is good in the kitchen too. Right, Hayes?
Maybe not on this scale, but I can try. I don't know. I don't want to disappoint anyone. They're so calm about it, but there's this ball of anger simmering in my gut, bubbling up in my throat. Maybe Reese was white. Wow, it's already started. We're only 20 minutes in.
Yes.
Maybe Reese was right. Maybe I'm gonna be treated like this if I get close to her. Avery, please don't be upset. Huh? I didn't quite hear you, Hayes. You kind of just trailed off there. You look so angry. Oh, do I? Ha ha ha. Sorry, I was thinking about something. Hayes doesn't look convinced. Not surprising. I have never been good at hiding my anger.
Well, I'm gonna get to work. Hayes, will you help me prep?
Landry and Hayes head into the back. As they go, I notice their low murmuring and stolen glances. They know what's up.
Oh, they so know what's up.
Let them gossip. Everybody does around here anyway.
Oh no.
I mean,
We
it's
just
true.
turned this into oh, what is it? It's not a vicious, not a viscous, not a violent.
No, not
Violent?
vicarious. You're talking...
Venomous? No. Poisonous? No.
What are you trying to say? I'm so confused now.
We turned this into a bad work environment.
Toxic?
That one!
I can't believe it.
Shut up! Quiet you. I knew there was a word, I just couldn't remember it, okay?
That is true. It is a very toxic work environment because they just will not stop talking about other people's going-ons. But at the same time, it's a double-edged sword.
normal.
At least you feel like you're in the clique if you really get to know them or whatever, but
Yeah.
still not
But yeah.
okay.
Well, it's one of those ones where everybody's gonna chat about stuff anyways. It's not more. It's them, being uppity or accusatory or things like that.
That's what I
that
mean.
really make it.
At least these guys
Yeah,
are
no, in this-
open-minded.
Yeah, no, they're like, hey, don't worry about it. He's probably just upset because something happened with Mason. They were gonna talk it out now that he doesn't have a chance to talk it out. So don't worry, it's not about you, Hayes. Let's just go work and let Avery go cool down. Because Hayes is probably thinking that we're mad at him for not being able to. Because, he's the shy boy.
Yeah, he's got a lot of anxiety.
Yep.
I sullenly reload the napkin holders, staring out the window the whole time. Why is my hand covered in salt? Huh. Guess I knocked the shaker over. Didn't even
That's
notice.
unlucky.
Ah, crap. I flick the salt off my hand and pick up the shaker. I didn't break it, did I?
Avery!
I pitched the shaker in surprise. It clatters against the floor. Now it's definitely broken.
Avery! She's here.
Salt cascades onto the floor. Now I've got more cleaning up to do.
I don't have to cook after all. She's getting prepped.
Did she say what happened? Or where she was? Or... There's still a part of me that's hoping, in spite of myself, that maybe something else came up. That maybe I had a run-in with a different crooked-tailed tabby.
I didn't ask. I'm sure she has her reasons. Wouldn't be like her to just play hooky.
But clawing my hand isn't like her either, is it? Hey! Hi, Jay. I almost said Tekken. That's not even close to a name. Jay is more of a name. I am good. How are you? Lurking while working. Ah, yes. The work lurk. We love those.
Yes.
I hope you're having a
Hopefully
good day.
Yes, and if you're doing the work lurk and you're listening with us, try not to giggle if we get silly. It's always silly when you're walking around work and you start giggling to yourself and people think you're weird.
And people think
Not
you're
that
crazy.
Yeah, no, it's not at all like I've done that a bunch of times, and then people are staring at me like, okay, what's so funny? You wouldn't understand. It's hilarious. Ha 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 ha.
All you gotta do is tell them it's an inside joke. You wouldn't get it. I make
And then
myself
they wanna
laugh.
know more.
No. I leave the leaky salt shaker where it lies. I need to see her. There she is, chopping veggies like nothing happened. There's Hayes scrambling around to ready pots and pans. Are you sure you feel okay? If you're sick, you shouldn't fuss over work. We wouldn't want to get germs on the food. Not that you're germ-filled.
I'm not sick.
You're love sick. No, I'm kidding. Maybe she's more angry sick.
Yes.
Okay, as long as everything's all right. Oh, Avery. Oh, I guess you heard. Mason freezes when she hears my name. She stands still, facing away, shoulders braced. Then she resumes her prep. Just goes back to work like nothing happened. Yeah, just wanted to make sure everything was okay. I want to see her face, know what she's thinking. Also, Jay says, "Hello, Tasty. Hello, Clam. I am alone at the moment, so it's safe."
Tasty says hi back. Did you hear me?
I'm sure he heard ya.
Yay!
So what he's saying is he's doing dishes and he can be himself now because there's nobody else around. I'm just kidding.
Nah, he's getting that free 15-minute break in right now where he's like, nobody else is here. I can sit around for a few more minutes.
That would be cool, having the break room to yourself. Sometimes it happens, but for me, when I was doing it, it was very rare. I did.
Yay!
I want to see her face. I want to know what she's thinking. I try to crane my neck to look, but she whips her head away. I don't get more than a glimpse. I might be reading too much into a split-second glance, but I think I saw guilt. I have to talk to her, or I'm gonna explode. Oh, there's a movie quote, but I can't remember all of it, so I can't say it, because I don't remember the punchline.
Explode.
Hey, Mason? Nothing. I've never seen someone so interested in chopping vegetables. Like, they're the most boring things in the world.
Nah. Sometimes the vegetables are actually fruit, and that makes life twice as exciting.
That is exciting, you know? Mason, you hear me, or do I have to ask Hayes to get your attention?
What?
Can you help me get something from the basement? See, my hand got all scratched up by some cat. Ooh, that is a scary sound. She chops celery like a public execution. After a long, deep breath, she finally turns to me.
Shouldn't mess with strays like that.
Just...
That's a mean look.
Ma'am.
That is not a happy Mason. That's the type of Mason that scoots a cooking range in front of a door.
I think the only reason why she's so mad is because you actually talked to who I'm guessing is her grandfather, and he said he was lonely and she didn't want to hear it because she couldn't fix the situation, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really think she did run away.
Well, we'll find out.
Just come with me. I'm surprised she lets me drag her by the wrist downstairs. She could easily make this like carrying a stone block down a mountain. Well, physically. She's already doing it emotionally.
What?
What do you mean, what? What you? What the hell, man? It doesn't have the impact I want, but I try piecing together words when you feel like you're about to boil over. You can't play dumb when you're the one who did it.
I panicked.
You sure did. Is that your answer every time you get upset? Just take a chunk out of someone?
Look.
You look. Whatever your problem is, you didn't have to hurt me.
I didn't mean to.
No, that's weak. I thought we were cool. But if you're just gonna bully me...
Think that's new? That I'm not used to hearing that? Go ahead. I get it from everyone.
Oh no, you don't get to hide behind that. That doesn't work for me.
Why do you push? I didn't ask for this. Thought we had something nice, but then you push and push and pry. Give up, like everyone else.
Don't make this about you unless you're gonna do it to apologize.
I told you it was an accident. I'm sorry, okay?
I can't have this conversation with you right now. I need to go. I storm upstairs, shutting out whatever response she might have had for me. I'm making more noise than I expected. Thanks, cheap old wooden steps. Good. Let everyone hear it. I don't care.
Stomp, stomp, stomp. Squeak, squeak, squeak.
They don't stop storming until I'm outside. If Landry and Hayes didn't hear me before, I'm sure they hear me slam the door now. I can't stay here. I want them to know I'm mad, but that doesn't mean I want to talk about it. I need some air. But where do I go? If I go home, I won't come back. Maybe I'll walk in circles until I forget everything about scruffy orange cats. I stare at the ground as I walk, forcing my focus on the cracks in the asphalt, the scuffs on the side of my shoe, anything to distract. It works, a little. At least I don't feel like punching my heart anymore. I should have paid more attention to where I was going. Look where I ended up. I love making things worse for myself. The owner's still here, still reading a book. And I'm gonna say still again one more time because I don't know why. I hate that when you use the same word multiple times in a row. I still have no idea what I'm doing here. I stand still in the doorway. The plan. Close the door. Only after the door fails to jingle does he look up. He looks like he's about to say something else, but stops. I can feel his eyes on my bandaged hand. You're that kid from earlier. Y'all right? Yeah, I don't know what I did, but that cat sure didn't like it. Don't worry. I'm not mad or disgruntled or anything. Not him, at least. Close the door. This time I oblige, and step up to the counter. He sets the book down and gives me his full attention. Still. Triggered! I'm just kidding.
I don't know. It's more like you're standing still.
I wanted to, apologize for causing trouble, I guess. If I was prying or something. Don't matter to me. Sorry she got wild. Guess it happens with strays. She's sweet with me. Did you find her somewhere or adopt her or something? Don't own her or nothing. Comes and goes when she wants. It's real nice. I don't need to keep the litter box around, you know what I mean?
Huzzah!
That's the one thing that I wish you didn't have to deal with cats is the litter box.
Darn straight. It's probably the worst bit.
Uh-huh.
But, it's worth it if you get used to it.
I don't...
find solutions.
Okay, so I have legitimate, cat allergy, and I have trouble breathing, and I'll get, stuffy nose and stuff like that.
Yep.
That doesn't bother me near as much as the smell of a litter box.
Like I said, it is the worst part. Even as somebody such as myself, who has very mild to no pet allergies, if certain animals sleep on my face, I'll get, sneezy and snuffly. Otherwise, certain types of fur, if it's particularly rough or coarse, it gives me hives.
Ugh.
But I mean, It's all worth it, up until you get to the poop.
New slogan. It's all worth it until you get to the poop.
Yep.
Anyway, sorry. Runs off during the day, always comes back mornings and evenings. I used to have a cat like that too, by the way. I found out later that technically, even though I consider that cat my cat because it kept coming around so often, it actually belonged to someone else. But that person wasn't doing a very good job of taking care of it, so I was like, what, 7 at the time? But anyway.
Something like that.
Don't know why, not like I feed her. I think I know the type. How's your hand? It wasn't a deep scratch. It's the principle, you know? You think you know someone and then... What? Avery! So, how'd you know Mason? You see her? Oh, crap, he's sharp. Oh, are you related? I see the resemblance. Same grunt and all, I didn't know that was genetic. My granddaughter. I was right.
Fun.
You didn't answer my question. I can't really figure out... I guess what I can't really figure out is how he feels about it. Is he worried about her? Angry? Excited? I don't know. He's even harder to read than Mason. Oh, I didn't know. We work together. Work together. Yeah, she's really cool. I like her a lot. Well, usually. Is that what you calling it now? Work. His already frosty demeanor ices over. The way he stares at me makes me nervous. What'd I say? Is it because I said I like her? I didn't mean it like that. Well, not really. Oh man, I gotta get my thoughts together and... Yeah, my voice squeaks. Keeping it real cool, Gray. Congratulations.
Most smooth Avery we've seen in this playthrough yet.
Though it's also fun, you know? Another useless delinquent, huh? Like her. Hey, what? Huh? Causing trouble for us decent, hard-working folk. That's your idea of work. Look, I think you've got the wrong idea, sir. I work at a cafe. He's not buying it, and I threw in the sir and everything. What'd she do? What do you mean by delinquent? He studies me for what's probably the longest minute to exist in eternity. I'm not sure if he's gonna say something, or if I should say something, or if I should even move, or do something, or something else, or something. Anyway. The something has come back again.
Yes. The somethings and the stills. They still bother you.
Still something.
Bit.
I shouldn't move, right? If I run away, I could never come back. And I'd never learn more about Mason. I'd give anything to have someone break this awkward moment. Oh no.
Uh-oh. Wrong person to break this awkward moment.
She must have had a sixth sense and be like, I know what he's doing.
Yeah,
Something.
Well, either that or she got to the point where she's like, he hasn't come back. I should go up there and apologize, like, properly. What do you mean he's not here? Frick.
Do you think she's ever killed a man? Because I would believe it.
Yes. I believe she's killed multiple men. With her dreamy looks and her step on me attitude.
Step on me. Her step on me attitude? I don't think so. The worst...
Oh yeah, no, she wants to step
on someone.
The
worst possible someone has shown up. There she is, hackles raised. Huh, not like her to show up this time of day. She's a man-eater. Yes, she is.
She makes you work hard. She makes you play hard.
I better go. Sorry. I don't even have time to hope that Mason stayed behind because there she is at my feet.
Should have known you'd come back. Meddling again.
What? You come back to finish the job? I can't speak for some reason. Hold on a sec. I don't know what's up with my freaking brain sometimes. It's just like flat lines and it's like I cannot talk.
There is no vocalization. None. There's only interpretive dance.
And I don't have a video camera. So you're just gonna have to pretend you can see me with my interpretive dance. Sorry, anyway. Having too much fun. We gotta do more reading.
What?
What? You come back to finish the job? I show off the bandage with a sneer. Her tail puffs up like static.
Don't do this. Not here. You want to talk so bad? We'll do it at the cafe.
I no, because she's human.
There are people at the cafe.
No, she's human, so she's more likely to kill you. As a cat, you at least have a fighting chance.
Like I said, she's got that step on you attitude.
Fine with me. It's a long, silent walk back. Curiosity overtakes my anger. What happened between them? I'm sure it's something to do with that delinquent stuff, but... I don't know where to start. The bits and pieces of possibilities swirl uselessly in my head. We head straight to the basement, barely sparing a nod for Hayes along the way. At least he didn't try to say anything. I wouldn't have known what to tell him.
Thankfully, Hayes is just that type of person who's like, oh, angry, just stay out of the way.
Hayes would not, yeah.
Yep, nope, he's like, oh, back, oh, they're back. Well, it doesn't look like they're actually back. I'm going to pretend I didn't see them at all.
You...
Look. Sorry. Don't know what else to say, but I mean it. I'm sorry. I really panicked.
Wow. She starts right out with that. It takes some wind out of my sails. She's not defensive or combative anymore.
But please, stop pushing. You aren't gonna help.
I sort of barged in and messed stuff up, huh? I'm sorry. Is there anything I should know? Like, I mean, for stuff like this, so I don't push you in a bad spot again. Though I don't know where else you'd go as a cat, so maybe it won't come up again.
Just there. Just don't go. It's gonna cause problems.
Are you still going to go?
Can't see him any other way.
Your grandpa? Why not call him? I bet he misses you. You could explain that you're busy with work or have another job and invite him to...
He wouldn't come.
I'm sure he would. He could close the store for lunch, or I could cover the counter for him. I'm sure he'd make time for his...
No, he doesn't want to see me.
What? Why?
It's none of your business. Just don't go.
Come on, Mason. I care about you a lot, and I want to help you. Or at least be there for you. But it's really hard when you won't tell me anything. I reach over to put my hand on hers. She's gonna pull away any second, I know it. But she doesn't. Aw, it's cute. You said it was nice someone wasn't afraid of you, so here I am. Not being afraid. Prying. I'm super nosy. I want to know more about you. Skay. I slip my fingers between.
It would be cuter if she was more blushy.
Her face is definitely different from her other... So this splash art is different from the sprite.
Yep.
It looks like she's got more of a square face in the sprite. but I still like this. This is cute.
I want her to be more blushy.
Well, okay, when I do the thumbnail art for the highlights.
Big pink circle blushies?
Yes.
Yes!
I'm not gonna overdo it, okay?
Yeah, no, just like innocent pink circle blushies.
Okay.
Yeah!
I slip my fingers between hers. She looks away, but tentatively locks her fingers with mine.
We used to be close.
Eh? Me and her? Oh, her grandpa, of course. Wait, she's actually talking about it? I squeeze her hand in encouragement. Oh, did not get you. Say it again.
No, I choked a little bit on a bit of spit and it came out way too gravelly. Grew up with him.
Down that old dirt road. Every time someone says the word gravelly, I think of that song.
I mean, fair. Right above that corner store. We'd bake for the store together. It was nice. When I got older, we stopped talking. I think he didn't know what to do with a teenager.
One sec.
Maybe I reminded him too much of my mom. Still too loud or too soft?
Now you're too soft. It's hard
Because
to...
she's got that lower voice.
All right. Say those two sentences one more time.
Okay. Think he didn't know what to do with the teenager. Maybe I reminded him too much of my mom. It just turned into fights. That's all we did after a while. I started skipping school, making bad friends, getting into bad stuff. And he's not stupid. He knew. We got in a real gravelly voice, darn you! We got in a real bad one. And I left. Just took my stuff and left.
Oh, Mason. I'm so sorry.
It's what it is. Can't change the past. Drifted for a while. Then I thought, the hell with this. I'm gonna show him wrong and get a real job. So I came here. I love it, but it's hard to come back, you know? I can't talk to him, well, like that. Went to check on him one day. He was so lonely. Real happy to have company. Started talking to me, chatting more than he had to, you and me.
Updates on the kitty? I would like to plead the fifth. No, kidding. So we are in the process of getting her into the house, but we still have to clear it with the one people. He's got the doctor's note so that we can have the cat here. I don't know if you were there for that update, but because of his leg and his PTSD that he had, he can have the cat. So,
woo!
Yay!
Yeah! Sometimes that fine print helps.
Oh, yes. But yeah, it's gonna be another... I'm gonna guess and say maybe 2 weeks just to hear back from them because they're kind of slow.
Fair. Fair.
Oh, hey, I didn't tell you, Tasty. For anniversary present for nerds, I got him cat stuff, and he was so stoked. He was like,
Aww.
oh my god. It's so cute.
It makes me want to send you guys a gift card from my place of work so that you guys can use that up there.
We don't have one, so it would be it would be sweet, but yeah, we middle of nowhere.
Fair enough.
I think the nurse.
I mean, either that or you can pass it on to your folks and they can use it. Got one over there.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the nearest PetSmart is 4 hours away.
Fair.
Yes, support animal.
Yep. First, it was about his day. Achy knees, what a customer said. But later it was me. Said he missed me, but it was too late. I want to stay with him, whatever way I can. Even if it's as a stray cat. Oh, this is you.
If he said he misses you, couldn't you talk to him?
Not that simple. You saw how mad he got when you said you're my friend.
Oh, you saw that?
So, you know, I think he misses me, like I'm already lost. It's fine. I can look after him like this. Better than what we could have had if I was human. Not gonna try and change it. Can't afford to lose it.
She pulls her hand away and shoves it back into her pocket. It's a shame. Her hands were rough but warm.
Don't know what else to do. I should stick to cooking. At least I'm good at that.
I think you're good at more than that. What's going on now? Oh, okay. I was like, confused. Oh, gotcha.
Back to story. Yep, no. The fun splash screen is gone. No more private time in the basement. That sounds so awful.
Words fail.
Yes. Better get back to work. Hazel burned the kitchen down.
No, have more faith in Hayes.
Poor Hayes!
Is he really that bad? No.
Not as bad as you.
Thanks, Mason. Hey! She does the unbelievable. She cracks a smile. With a pat on my shoulder, she heads upstairs. I hear the creaking of each step, but the noise stops at the top. Okay, sorry, what?
What?
Oh, I thought you were trying to say something, but I kept interrupting you. Are you good?
No.
Okay.
If anything, it was gonna just be another moment of burn.
Burn.
Avery.
Yeah?
Thanks for listening.
Anytime, Mason.
Huzzah! We've made emotional connection. Our bond grew stronger.
She keeps the menu simple, but these little tea sandwiches are delicious. She fixes one for me, and I shovel it into my gaping maw during my break. She even gives me those sugar snap peas chips that I like. I salvage what I can of the day. Gross! What is with people?
Those. I like snap peas, but I don't like them when they're dried out and crispy like that. They just, I don't know, something happens to them in the drying process and they get more bitter.
Huh. I think I just like vegetables, I guess.
I mean, I like vegetables too, but I like them fresh, not dried.
I'm used to nerds just being like, what's the word? He shuns all kinds of vegetables, and even if I like hide them into his food and he doesn't even know it, he's like, I still taste it.
I find them.
Yeah.
I'm going to die an explosion of death because I'm allergic to green things.
No, he's allergic to bananas. They're poisonous, remember?
Yeah, now I remember.
I salvage what I can of the day, but I'm mixing up orders while I think about Mason and her grandpa. She thinks it's unfixable, but that can't be the case. I know I'm being nosy. I should leave her to her business, but I continue messing up orders as I think up a plan. My tips suffered a lot today, but I think I've got an idea that'll make it worth it. Did Mason stick around? I bet she didn't. Sure enough, she left without as much of a word. We made a few steps forward in communication, but there's bound to be some tripping. Hayes handles kitchen cleanup. I know he offered because things are still weird with me and Mason. Good. That clears up the front for the next stage of my plan. My plan. Like a secret agent, I slip upstairs and pull out the chocolate. cake I've been eyeing all day. Mason considers it her specialty. I consider it heaven. Step 1, I box up a piece of cake. Step 1.5, I box up a second piece. You know, for me.
Of course, of course.
Consider it my finder's fee if this plan works. If not, it's my preemptive consolidation prize. I shoved the boxes into a to-go bag, then dump a fistful of menus on top. That's step 2, by the way. Then step 3. Act cool. Not be cool.
Oh man, he's
Act
already
cool.
failed step 3.
That's the hardest step so far. I took 3 years of college for that one. No, I'm kidding.
Oh my gosh.
I finish up my closing chores and scurry home. I take the other way home, the one that doesn't put me past the corner store. Don't want to invade anyone's space, not yet. Step 4, try to sleep. That turns out to be harder than the last step. I can't stop thinking about Mason. Maybe I am meddling too much. But anything's got to be better than what they're doing now. Neither of them are going to take the first step.
Nope.
This has to be the right thing.
Maybe.
Step 5, sleeping. I do that part pretty well. I don't process my alarm until the 3rd time it goes off. Good thing the cafe is lax about attendance. Anyway, it's part of the plan, I promise. That makes me sad.
Yeah.
I eat my slice of cake for breakfast. That makes me sad too. Avery, you're hurting my soul.
It's the best cake. Are you kidding me?
It's just like eating pizza for breakfast.
all the time.
Used to do it all the time.
Don't have as much cake anymore, unfortunately.
Maybe if I was
I
younger.
wish I did.
He really wants that.
Yeah, no. Whenever there was extra cake, it always ended up being breakfast for the next couple of days.
He really wants that cool cat. Yes, Jay.
Jeez.
I eat my slice of cake for breakfast, you know, gotta make sure it's all good the next day. Trust me, it is. So that's step... whatever. I lost count. The higher my number of steps get, the more my heart pounds. I really hope this works. Well, hello.
Pardon me, I have hiccups.
I'm definitely gonna start considering it like some kind of chronic thing with you, because anytime that you take like deep breaths or after you've eaten a large meal you have hiccups, I think
it is a chronic thing.
It is!
It is a chronic thing! Legitimately.
Oh, Jay wants us to know he was thinking of another word for cat. I wonder what else he was thinking. Yeah, Neko-san. It must be Neko-san. Can't be anything, you know, bad, right? YouTube wouldn't allow that, right?
No. Shame.
Put in that clip from my Minecraft series where I say that word a bunch of times. Okay. The actual step 6. Once I'm 100% sure Mason's left for work, that was the sleeping in part, see? Using my brain. Big brain time. I slip into the corner store. I slip into the corner store. Sure enough, her grandpa's there reading the paper. He glances up, but scowls and returns to the sports page. Here goes nothing. Laughing out loud. So, we got off on a bad foot the other day. I wanted to clear things up.
This is also you.
Oh, that's right. I'm so used to you doing all the voices that my mind immediately, when I'm like checking the chat, my mind immediately is like, it's obviously not me.
Nope, this is also you.
Why'd you care about some old man's opinion? Don't care about you one way or another. But I care about what you think I'm doing. What you think Mason's doing? I see where Mason got that glower from. It sends a chill down my spine. Get out. I can do this. I can stand my ground. Okay.
Not against a Masoneer.
Okay, I will get out. I just wanted to give you something first. It's from her. From our work. I put the to-go bag on the counter and scoot it toward him. It's from yesterday, so the icing's a little crunchy, but it's still good. I should know. I had some. Hello? That is a weird-ass noise. Where did it come from?
What?
I heard a meow. I'm sure it was a car horn, but I don't know if it came from me or from your side. Anyway.
Wasn't my side. There's nothing going on over here.
It must have been me then. I should know, I had some. Not from that piece, of course. I included menus if you want to see what we do. It's a cat cafe. If you like strays, you might like our cats too. I've deflected his glare from me to the to-go bag. He's staring so hard I think it might catch fire. I put the menu next to the bag.
The cake will be extra crunchy.
I don't know, maybe chocolate lava cake situation going on there.
Nice. He's gonna make it feel fresh again.
I put the menu next to the bag, but he doesn't move. His gaze sneaks over to the menu. I guess it's time to a next step. 7. Withdraw coolly.
Trip while you walk out the door.
Okay, that's all. I'll go now. Like you said, bye.
Very cool. Very smooth.
Yep. That was cool. My favorite cake? Oh, I like me a lemon
that
cake.
Is in front of me.
The cake that... She is not...
I'm not picky.
She's not prejudiced with her cakes, okay, guys?
No. No, I just want cake, and I want it in my belly. It could be pancake, it could be a baked cake, it could be an upside down
It could be a short cake, you know?
It could be a short cake, it could be a lava cake.
It could be a tall cake,
too,
for all that matters.
A marbled cake, cupcake, as long as it is a cake and it is in front of me and I'm allowed to have it, it is my favorite.
What about a fruit cake, though, huh? What about that?
I do like fruit cake.
What about a meat pie? Does pie include cake, too?
No, it does not.
Okay, fine. Yep, that was cool. No, it wasn't. No use worrying anymore, I guess. I completed my big plan. The final step is to see what happens. I wonder what he's thinking. Is he happy that Mason's got a good job now? Does it matter if he's still mad? I hope I did the right thing.
Cheesecake is technically more of a pie, but I will accept it as cake as I do like it as well.
Yes, cheesecake is awesome.
Yes it is. Pie versus cake is a huge war, and unfortunately I lean on the cake side more than the pie side.
I think I agree. Cake is better than pie. Unless we're talking pizza pie. I prefer pizza. Sorry.
I don't know on that one.
I prefer pizza! Reese and Landry's heads snap up as they hear the door. Pie versus cake.
Savory. Thank goodness. I was worried something had happened to you too.
Two?
I think I had an extra word in there.
Okay. 2 tardy workers in a week. I'll have to talk to Graves about tightening that absence policy. You killed yourself.
Myself. What?
No, not that loud. Not that loud. Oh no.
Hold on. Here, I'm gonna mute for a second. Hold on.
That might be too low. There we go.
I'm okay now.
Ooh, tiramisu. See, when I was really young, I hated it because of how much it tasted like coffee. And now as an adult and addicted to coffee, and did coffee for 10 years for a job, I am in love with tiramisu. So I agree. Wherever that falls, that's my team. Definitely cake.
It can fall on the cake side, but it's more of a layered dessert because it's cake, it's cream, and chocolate. It's a cake, but it's a fancy cake.
Are you good?
Yes, I'm good now. I don't know what attacked me, but my lungs are okay now.
Try one more time.
It's no big deal. Breathe, as long as nothing happened. You okay, Avery?
Yeah, sorry. I slept through my alarm, but I'm here and ready to go. Well, that's not entirely a lie, right? Mason's here, right? Everything okay?
Yeah, I thought she was getting sick yesterday, but she said she feels fine. She's making some amazing pumpkin soup today. You should try it.
Don't dip your grubby paws into the stock pot until you're on break. Yeah. Beyond that initial fuss, it's a quiet day. I'm making it feel 10 million times longer by spending my time staring at the door. Is he gonna show up? Is Mason gonna get mad if he does? Ah! This you. Ah! I was so distracted, I almost tripped over Marina. At least she's looking out. When I'm not. Sorry, buddy. I give her some extra catnip in apology, but I should know by now that starts a feeding frenzy around these parts. Before I know it, I'm up to my neck in cats. Hash browns is practically climbing up my pants to get the jar in my hands. Then I hear it. The door. Or the Dora. I nearly dropped the jar. It's him. He actually came. I'm so excited. I'm so nervous. I slammed the catnip jar on the table and wade through the circling cats to get to the door before Landry. Welcome, sir. I'm happy to see you. Just coffee. Aha. You got it. Here, come take a seat. Kick up your heels and relax. He doesn't do that last part, but he at least follows me to the seat closest to the kitchen and settles in. What kind of coffee would you like? We have all sorts of varieties. Compliments of our barista. Do you like espresso? Cappuccinos, flat whites, mochachinos, punkaccinos. I still don't know much about coffee and I'm nervous, okay? So I rambled a bit and made up one.
What? No, the punkacino is totally real. It has sprinkles on top.
You know what? I should not say it's not real because there's always new things. So let me check.
Yes. I'm pretty sure it doesn't actually have sprinkles on top, but now I want to know. I want to know. Can you show me? I want to know if there's a punky coffee like me.
I don't know if it's spelled exactly the same way because I can't remember now. But there is an Elysian Punkuccino Coffee Pumpkin Ale.
Ooh.
I might be interested in trying that.
That sounds fancy.
Right.
I'll pass it's an ale, but
As an ale?
fancy.
Just coffee, nothing fancy. You got it, sir. It's on the house, by the way. Family discount. In that case, give me that soup too. The special. Coming right up.
A coffee and a soup. Strange combo, but hey.
If you like your coffee, you can have it with anything.
This is true.
I bound in the kitchen like I'm breaking up a wedding at the end of a rom-com. I want to tell her so bad.
Don't run in my kitchen.
I'm sorry. Just a little wound up. We've got a special guest.
Don't care about celebrities.
Oh, it's something different. You'll see.
Order up.
Okay, thanks, bye. I grabbed the tray and careened back onto the floor. Mason's grandpa barely even looks up when I set the coffee and soup before him. It's a shame. I put a real good flourish on it, too. He does notice that I can't stop staring at him as he sips his coffee. Close your mouth unless you want to catch flies. Right. Like, before. I busy myself by aggressively cleaning all the tables around him. He stares at first, but gets used to it and ignores me. He's just silently eating soup with a stone-faced stare into the distance. Is he watching the cats? I'm gonna pretend he's watching the cats. When I see him push the bowl away, I pounce. So, what do you think? Tastes familiar. Well, that's great. I'll get the chef so you can pay your compliments to her. I don't stick around to hear him object.
Uh-oh.
Mason! Hey, Mason.
What?
Oh. Okay, a customer wants to talk to you about the food, of course.
What? They got a problem? Ain't no problems with my cooking.
I'm under the impression that this relationship that she has with her grandfather would have been great, like, if they... It would have worked out totally fine, because I foresee some big conflict happening, right? If she just kept making the food and then he just randomly decided coming every day to eat her food and they didn't interact at all, I think for a really long time they would like build up a sense of affection for each other. I'm sure everything will get resolved this way too. It's just I can tell that there's going to be a fight coming.
Yep, it's not gonna be pretty.
No, I think he liked it. Come on. I grab her hand and pull her out of the kitchen. Grab her by hand is fine too, I guess. I don't know.
Yes. Drag her out.
I've barely got her out of the kitchen when I feel her freeze. She's suddenly as heavy and still as a statue. WrestleMania.
In this corner, we have the one and the only Mason. In the opposite corner, we have the Mason grandfather. Ding ding. Fight.
Her grandpa looks just as shocked. An eternity passes. I feel like I'm gonna melt, caught between their stares. Mason looks pretty angry. Maybe I messed up. Maybe this was a mistake.
Well, too late now.
She opens her mouth to say something. You took my recipe.
Just doing what I taught you. What I taught you. Yes. She did the teaching around these parts.
She's actually Benjamin Button. She never ages.
Oh, snap. Just doing what you taught me.
Been here all this time.
Yeah.
Got your cake yesterday. The chocolate one. I thought that was this morning.
Well.
Huh.
Maybe it felt like yesterday because it took him so long to decide to come to work.
Right? Still making the ice seem too sweet. Come over and I'll show you how to make it again.
Eep.
It's working out. There's no fight yet. Hopefully there's no fight at all. Mason's never been one for a lot of words, but now she looks like she's lost all of them. She stares at me dumbfounded, then back at her grandpa.
I'd better get back to work.
Did I drive you off? Didn't mean to push you away. I was scared. Lost too many people like that, so I went too tough. Regret it every day.
It wasn't you.
He has dementia. It's okay. Jay!
Ouch.
It's so dark. It's not that Jay knows, because my parents, one of them for sure has dementia, the other isn't diagnosed yet. It's a little dark.
Just a little bit. But hey, if they're sitting there and they're eating the recipe going, this is delicious, and you can be like, yeah, it's always been delicious, and I learned it from the best chef ever. Well, you should get me their book. Aww.
It's okay.
Sad, but delightful.
It hits me differently, for sure, when people make those jokes.
It happens. It's okay, Jay. You're all good.
Yes.
I should finish my line, huh?
Yeah.
Probably. I was bullheaded. Too stubborn. Wanted to prove myself and let pride get the best of me.
Her grandpa does something I've never seen from him before. He smiles. Look at that.
Apparently this family does not smile.
No, they don't smile. Like, this looks like he's literally stretching his face and it's not used to it. He looks much better.
Fair.
It's a great smile. His eyes glimmer a bit in a glossy sort of way. Maybe it's the light. What? His eyes are closed. Just kidding.
He's got the Asian squints on. You can barely see his eyeball.
He's got the nerd squint, is that it?
Yes.
He clears his throat.
I gotta work.
Mason turns and takes unsteady steps toward the kitchen. Key lime pie. Make me key lime tomorrow. You know it's my favorite. Mason freezes in place. It's gotta be the lighting. Her eyes are also glittering when she turns around.
Yeah.
And with a forced march, she disappears back into the kitchen. I heave a sigh of relief, which is enough to remind her grandpa that I'm here. You. What's your name? Am I in trouble?
The biggest.
Avery, sir. Avery. Thank you. Think we needed a bonehead to get moving. Bonehead?
Yes.
It's okay, Avery. Anytime. I'm just glad. I hope this means you'll talk more. You know, this was on the house. You said this was on the house, right? Yep, you got it. Good. Come by sometime and I'll repay the favor. You like donuts?
Yes!
I love them. Good. Now, gotta get back to work. Can't keep the store closed. Could get used to taking lunch breaks, though. Bye, Avery. Bye. He's gone and out the door before I realize I should have asked his name. Ah, crap. I guess I'll just ask him next time. Don't want to be calling him Grandpa. That seemed weird.
I don't know. I would call him Senor Mason.
Senor Mason. I should go check on the other bonehead. Mason's hunched over the counter, hands balled up into fists. Is she mad at me? Mason? She starts and turns away to stir the soup. She's adamant about looking away, no matter how hard I try to get her attention.
Really got your nose into this one. Couldn't leave it alone, could you? Just had to keep frying.
I know I probably should have left it alone, but what if you never reconciled? I couldn't stop thinking about that. Like, what if it stayed, or what if it stayed as a lonely old cat? Oh, okay. Like,
Yes,
what if what if it stayed as a lonely old guy with a cat he doesn't know is his granddaughter? That's so sad. I know it's going to be a long path from here, but...
So nosy. So pushy.
I freeze. My heart is going to jump out of my throat. I don't know how to react to that. My fight or flight instinct is going wild. But then she looks up. Oh! I love it. Look at her face. Her eyes.
She looks so sweet and soft. You want to give her a hug.
I almost want to make...
This is the perfect time for the people to come by and mow the lawn in front of my house. Great. Thank you, loud lawnmower.
I almost want to make this the thumbnail instead. It's so precious. But maybe I shouldn't.
And then make that one blushy.
Logically, I know she has emotions. 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 Sorry. Logically, I know she has emotions besides scowling, but seeing such a genuine smile from her, it's such a pleasant surprise. I can't help but smile back. What's Jay say? 2D. I don't know what 2D means, but yes, I am excited too.
On me, it's popping up as a smiley face icon.
That's what I mean. It's just a happy emote.
Ah. And it is also a blushy anime girl. See? See?
Nice.
We gotta put all the blushies on all the anime girls. You stubborn idiot. Thank you.
I love this song, by the way.
Yes.
It's so good.
Very pretty.
Of course. Glad I could be an idiot for good for once. She's actually laughing. She is! Before I can say anything, she turns away. I'm never gonna forget that expression. Maybe
Nope.
she used to smile like that all the time. I hope I get to see it more often.
Get back to work. The day's not over yet.
We love the blushing anime girls. Yes.
Yes, yes.
You too. If you slack off, I'm gonna steal all the Mont Blanc. I'm saying that wrong, I know that. Mont Blanc?
Monte Blanc.
I don't think it's Mont Blanc. I think it's just Mont Blanc.
Monte Blanc.
Alright, Google.
What is it?
You know I'm doing it wrong. How to pronounce Mont Blanc.
Mont Blanche.
Mont Blanc.
Oh no, we said it right. Mont Blanc.
Mont Blanc.
Okay.
Good enough. You don't even like Mont Blanc.
We'll see about that. Ha ha ha. I stupidly putter around for the rest of the day. I barely even register what's happening. After a stress drain like that, nothing else could possibly get me all worked up again.
Oh,
Mason-
really?
Mason calls me to the kitchen at the end of the day. I bet she needs me to lend my muscle to scrubbing the soup out of the stock pot. Wait, I'm the worst person to ask. I have negative muscle. Instead, I see her at the counter with 2 to-go bags. Huh? What's all this?
Couple of things. First, cookies for Granddad. Will you go with me to take them to him? Can't carry him.
Oh yeah, you gonna go hang out there after work?
Of course. The second one's for you. Maybe dinner. So stop ordering takeout. You're gonna get scurvy if you keep eating nothing but pizza. I don't know. You could put some pretty healthy toppings on pizza and then claim that it's a healthy pizza.
Only if you made sure that it was mostly veggies and not a shitload of cheese.
I mean, like I
Sorry.
said, you could put veggies on top of the pizza and pretend that it's healthy.
Aw, thank you. Pizza contains all the food groups, so I'd be fine, but I appreciate it.
And there's one more thing.
Before I can even move my lips to form a question, she grabs my shoulders and pushes me into the wall. She's not too forceful, but it doesn't stop the pathetic yelp of surprise as I make impact. Is this going where I think it's going? Yep. It's so cute. She's so tall.
Cornered him. She cornered him.
Tomatoes have vitamin C.
They do. And if you make a Hawaiian where it's got the pineapple on top,
Yes.
you'll never get scurvy.
Okay, I guess what I meant to say was pizzas aren't healthy unless you have veggies on them. I guess I wasn't trying to say you'll avoid scurvy by eating veggies.
No. But, you know, you can pretend that it's a healthier option if you put veggies on it. You could be like, I put extra mushrooms on top. That's good for me. I put the spinach on top. That helps. That's a salad.
That's a salad. She needs to bend to kiss me, but I like that. I like all of this a whole lot, actually. Her kiss feels like she's trying to force me into the wall. This is going to be a lot to keep up with. But I like that too.
Come on, let's go.
She pulls away and drops the to-go bags in my hands. Her steps take her to the threshold of the door where she stops, waiting for me. You got it. I barrel out of the door. Pineapple Army!
Yes, I'm part of the Pineapple Army. Fear me.
I'm sorry, Jay. If you don't like pineapple, we can't be friends.
Oh no.
But, you know, we can still exchange letters across front lines, if that makes sense.
I can't be seen with you in public, but you can send me secret letters.
No, that sounds weird.
It does, which is why you
I'm
shouldn't have said
talking
it.
I'm talking about in war times.
Yes, we can't be seen in public together, but you can still send me secret letters.
It's no. Okay. I barrel out the back door. A moment later, I feel a cat land on my shoulder. That is cute. That is so cute.
That's a super cute splash.
I don't know how she jumped that high, but it is Mason. She's capable of anything. Alright, to Grandpa's. Can I call him Grandpa? I'm the Pineapple Army Sniper, don't worry. You don't see, but you hear me. Nice.
Yeah.
We got it. Our army is growing, guys.
Wah. There's 3 of us now. Woo!
Yes. Okay. That was a blank
There we
dialogue
go.
box. So we already know this. I'm gonna try to... Mason still hasn't... Oh, no, stop. Oh, stop
Gotta
it.
go to the listy. You have to go to the list.
I don't know why it did it.
There you
I
go.
mean, work is still work. But I got a real cute crush, so this is old. This is new. Mason still hasn't. Starting to get to the bottom of this magical curse thing. Mason still hasn't. She spends the next couple days in cat time at her grandpa's. I don't get why she doesn't pull an all-nighter and break the curse already. Then she could see him as human instead. But what do I know? I'm already meddled enough. I can't speak. Anyway, it's not that she's not studying. Ever since I brought the book in, I caught her reading from time to time. Usually it's right before she catches me sneaking a little snack. Blep, blep, blep. Okay. I like to sneak kisses too, but that's a whole other thing. Ha 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 ha. Every night is a date night here. Oh, you're dating
Oh my.
at work? I mean, I get it, because your cat's everywhere else and that'd be really messed up, but I wouldn't do it at work.
Avery.
You're a furry. You said that already.
I have. I wanted to make it a throwback. I wanted to say it again.
It still is messed up. She teaches me how to cook dinner and I read to her as we eat. It's nice. Tonight we're getting a late start. I hope she stops messing with the stove soon. I'm getting hungry. Is it broken or something?
Crappy old thing. Pilot's out.
Oh, that's bad, right?
Wouldn't turn on without it.
So, definitely bad. She disappears beneath the stove. There's some rustling, some clanging, and a snap. Not like a broken snap, a finger snap. Then Mason's back. What's she so pleased about?
Better.
Oh, good. What'd you do? She snaps again and... What? Did a spark shoot from her finger?
Little trick I picked up.
So, what we're learning is Landry...
Fire magic.
Landry is a lightning adept, and Mason is the pyromancer.
Yes!
I like it.
What a shame I didn't give Mason the burner voice.
Well, you didn't know. But it's fine. Burner voice fits Landry perfectly, so...
I mean, we made it fit him perfectly.
Have you noticed, though, aside from Garrett from Golden Sun, everyone else that you've given the burner voice has turned into a real asshole?
I'm noticing. It's sad.
What's the guy from Final Fantasy Tactics? What was his name? I can't remember.
I don't remember either.
It's not Agrius. Agrius is the girl. I think it's like Arthas or something.
No.
I can't remember his name. But yeah, he was a total dick and he killed that one girl. And I can't say it. It's a spoiler. It's an old game.
Spoilers.
But, I mean, maybe someone here might see the playthrough someday. So,
Yeah.
no spoilers.
But yeah, no, he ended up being a dick. So that's fair.
And then Toma from Amnesia Memories.
Dick.
And now Landry, who made his own problems because he punched a kid and was like, you ruined my life, when really it was Landry that ruined his life.
Yeah. But it's one of those ones where Landry's at least learning from it.
Yeah,
or at least
Landry's
attempting
redeemable
to.
at least.
Yeah.
But
Other
still,
ones, not so much.
he's still not a great guy.
No.
I hit her playfully on the arm. God, her biceps are steel cables. Mason, oh my God. You're holding out on me. When are you gonna tell me about that?
What? This?
She snaps again. A tiny blue flame leaps from her hand.
Needed that pilot lit.
Hello, Ian. One day. Yes, one day is my favorite day of the week. Yep. One day is when I'm going to pay all my bills, pay all of my attention onto YouTube and get all my videos out there. What else?
One day is when I'm gonna have my own bakery and eat all the cakes I make. I won't even sell them. Just kidding.
You did say this line, right? Sorry.
Yep.
Okay. Oh my God, it's like making something extra delicious to let's make something extra delicious to celebrate. Because now we can officially call you Roy Mustang. Lol.
Wow.
After a celebratory dinner, I forgot, sorry. Hi Ian, how you doing? Thank you for being here.
Wait, if she's Mustang, does that make us full metal since we work with trash?
Yes! Please. I'm so into it. Or does that make us Alphonse? I'm just kidding.
Well, no, Alphonse doesn't work with trash. She's made out of trash.
After a celebratory dinner, where I burned the chicken enough that I wonder if I've got fire magic too, we head out. And then... Want me to give you a ride to your grandpa's?
Nah, I'll walk.
Alright, you go on ahead. Mason steps out of the cafe. She doesn't transform. What? Wait. Don't just, huh? What did you do?
Don't know. Broke it.
Gonna break everything. Mason, you did it. We did it. Oh, look at her. She can't hide that smile from me. Okay, well, to celebrate, I'm gonna walk with you to the store, and I'm gonna hold your hand the whole way.
My.
Yes, it's
now
very...
getting really serious. Sure.
It's way later than when I usually leave. Usually the sunset's still peeking through the city, but tonight the moon's already high. This seems...
This is familiar.
Yeah.
This is a certain scene.
Mason and I split when we Mason and I split when we approach our grandpa's store.
Just for a bit. Want to see him in person.
Tell him I said hi. She gives me a quick fumbling kiss and marches to the door. I head toward my house, thoughts full of my cute crush. Can I tell her my girlfriend? Can I call her my girlfriend yet? Avery's been two-timing Mason. This is not gonna end up well.
Oh no.
And whatever she'll make for lunch tomorrow. Maybe I can convince her to make a pizza. Like a healthy one. They make those, you know?
Yeah, see? Avery's on the same boat as me. You throw some peppers on top, a little bit of that spinach, and it's totally healthy now.
You'd have to cut out a lot of cheese, though. Just to cut off some of the grease, you know?
Nah.
As I round the corner.
For the innards. Keeps all the bits of the bobbles moving right, you know? Greases the gears.
Listen, it's getting dark now, okay? I feel a tense, creeping stiffness crawl up my back. My steps slow and my legs are suddenly heavy. We already know all this. Is someone following me? Oh no, it's him. Does he live here too? Howdy. Good evening. Bye. See you later. Adios. You're weird and creeping me out. Is he a friend? He can't be. He feels... Oh yeah, I seen him recently.
Oh, that's good. Because now I'm gonna beat you up to get to him.
Ping. Oh no. Look at that. Everything hurts. No.
And I'm gonna beat you up. Oh, no, you're not.
Oh my gosh,
gonna
this
attack
music
your
is so
kittens.
freaking loud.
You ain't gonna attack any of my kittens.
I wonder, actually. Let me try
What?
something. Let me see if this will work.
Mystery.
Sounds. Okay, that's not it.
Scroll over.
Nope, that just gets rid of everything. Well, that's
There's
sad.
a lower bar that you can use to scroll over.
It's not working. See? Oh, there is a hustle cat, you're right.
See? See?
Oh my goodness, finally! Okay.
I'm good at that sort of thing. Mostly because I'm really bad at making sure my sound stays normal.
Alright. This is why mere source of our collective woes, blah 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 blah
I
blah.
give you everything.
Stay and help Graves!
Run away! Run away! You better get run, kitten.
Oh, whoops. Too fast.
Whoopsie doodles.
Before I can fall, strong arms wrap around me and hold me close.
Avery.
Mason! Oh my god, Mason! I throw my arms around her neck and bury my face against her chest. I take a few sharp gasps to catch my breath. Graves. Some guy came after me and my foot got stuck and I twisted my ankle and now Graves is fighting. He's gonna lose. Her eyes narrow and her grip tightens.
Where?
A few blocks from my apartment. What's she planning? It can't be good. I'm about to ask, but she plants a cliss. What the hell?
That almost sounds like a bad word there, Fendo.
I know. My brain is so messed up. Okay.
Do you need a snack break or a hydrate break? Does your brain need more water?
Don't rub it in,
Take
Jay.
Cat.
Don't rub it in. I'm about to ask, but she plants a kiss on my forehead and guides me to the curb.
Stay here.
Then she runs toward the fight. Mason, no! I scramble to my feet and rush after her. They're right about the adrenaline. It does take the edge off pain. I think I'm about running out. I think I'm using all the adrenaline my body will ever make. I almost run into Mason again. Sorry I followed you. I didn't want you to. But then I see what she's looking at. Oh no.
Oh no! This is the first time we get a good look at him like this.
I don't think so. I think we've seen him before, just not this close, I think.
No, because they always just mention that he looks like an ugly garden gnome in front of the building.
No, there's one other time. I can point it to you. I promise.
Either that or I just have to go back and rewatch all the streams.
Is that really
One of
him?
the two.
Did he really lose? He can't. He's Graves. He's the mastermind. He can't become a crappy rust statue.
What? What the hell?
No. Graves, no. Mason, we have to get out of here.
Real sweet of you to come back. Heard something about contract transfer, but that ain't important now. Figure I'll clean up all these loose ends tonight. Don't even gotta tire myself out. Come here, kitten.
No thanks. Too creepy.
Give me the fight he didn't give.
Nope. Mason steps between us. Wham. She has a hell of a right hook. I don't think Noct expected anything like that.
No, he was expecting a magic whistle or something.
He takes the hit square on his jaw and topples like a domino. I think he's out cold. Mason! You... Oh, yeah?
Wow!
You just sucker punched a witch. Mason cracks her knuckles.
Gonna try to touch you.
That's not gonna be enough. He's gonna wake up sooner or later, and he's gonna be hella pissed.
I mean, there are things you can do to make sure he doesn't wake up later.
Shh. What are we gonna do? She scoops me in her arms with no more difficulty than she was picking up a cat. She runs.
Whoosh.
Whoosh, whoosh. I don't know why my brain was like, whoosh, whoosh, motherfucker, but I don't... That doesn't make any sense. Mason doesn't stop until we reach the door. She doesn't put me down until we're inside. She's winded when she sets me down on the couch. She flops down next to me and lets her head fall back, taking deep, heavy breaths. You didn't have to carry me all this way.
Of course I did. Just give me a sec.
Okay. I'm gonna lock the door and get you some water. Holy crap, now that I've had a few minutes to let everything catch up, my ankle hurts like hell. I try to hobble to the door, but it flies open before I have the chance. And everyone comes in! Finley! You guys, oh my god!
Duckers! It's Joan!
Did you twist your ankle? Yeah. What's this about the curse? It's broken.
It's broken! We're human again!
It's Graves, he's dead. Graves, no! My pseudo-father! He lunges, but Mason intercedes.
Stop. They're injured.
What happened to him? You have to tell me what happened. Someone attacked us. We have no idea who he was, but he had a grudge against Graves. His name was Noct, I think? Minecraft villain, I guess?
Apparently.
I don't know who that is.
Wait, I think that's a notch.
It is a notch, yeah. This Noct guy, I think he beat Graves. Reese clutches his chest. Looks like he's gonna pass out. I knew it. Blah, 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 blah. I knew he was in over his head. Damn it. I feel really bad for all his blustering. Reese admired Graves. So, now what happens? What do? We avenge him. This is still old.
We kill Noct.
Noct. Which defeats another in a duel. Is Graves really dead? Damn it.
Now, let's not do that. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Why does everyone keep talking about magic? Blah, 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 blah. Spits the name like it's profane. I think he did. What? He fought before he told me to run away. He told me that he'd give everything to me.
You? Why you?
Oh, as per tradition, you, why you? You're a newborn baby stumbling through the witching world. My favorite line in this entire playthrough. Oh,
But
sorry.
Avery was there. It's all that matters. Should be happy Noct doesn't get it, right? Besides, they might be a baby, but I trust them. Taught me after all.
When Mason talks, everyone listens, even Reese. She wraps her arm around my shoulders, and it feels good to lean on her and feel her there. Reese is right, though. I'm stumbling through it. So I need help, I think. I don't really know what to do next.
Don't know that guy's deal, but I don't think he's satisfied with just taking out Graves. He's gonna come back to finish the job.
Panic rises in my throat, but she gives my shoulder a reassuring squeeze.
Don't know about y'all, but I won't let that happen.
You know, I'm going to help. But only if you promise to help me recover Graves. Of course, it's the least we can do.
I'll go with you, Reese. I don't think everybody should be going out right now if they're a target for this guy. You should stay here under guard for now.
That was really loud.
I'm sorry. I mean, this will dial it down a little. You should stay here under guard for now. We'll take care of everything. You just rest up, okay?
But Mochi. Someone has to get my cat. That guy knows where I live. What if he takes Mochi hostage?
Chill, Avery. I'll get him. Operation Fat Cat Drop accepted.
Yeah.
But when I get back, you better show me this magic you're apparently teaching everyone else. I can't believe you held out on me.
I can patch up your ankle. But after that, I'd like to learn some more about magic, too.
I don't relish the idea, but I should at least sit in. I'm in this too.
Guys, I'm just some screw-up kid. You don't have to do this for me.
Of course we do. You're our screw-up kid!
Tears of gratitude sting my eyes. I love these guys. Okay, we can do this. Promise me nobody's gonna get hurt. Please, give us more credit. Blah, blah, blah. We enact our plans. Hayes vanishes into the bathroom to get the first aid kit. Mason dips into the kitchen and hear the horrific screeching noise.
I wonder what that is.
Still hasn't changed. Not once in any of our playthroughs.
Lock the door.
With what? Hey, I'm okay. How about y'all? We are amazing. Having a great time. Are you feeling much better? I know you said I'm okay, but did you go to the doctor? Did you get things figured out?
There's a double wave. I think he's okay.
If you haven't yet, go get some lunch, because it is definitely time for lunch.
Snackums.
Actually,
Yes.
probably closer to dinner time where you're at, I think.
Nope, it's only like 2.
No, Petchy.
It's okay for like late lunch. It's a little early for dinner.
Yes, headache is now left side, but very faint. I call it the ghost headache. Oh, don't name it after me. I'm just kidding. I hope you feel better, and I hope it goes away soon.
Yep. Sounds like you got a migraine, huh?
He's...
Well, take care of yourself. Get some caffeine in yourself.
He's been feeling really bad for a while. I don't know if caffeine's gonna work at this point.
Caffeine always ends up helping a little bit, but you've got to have a lot of it to really do anything.
He's been feeling sick since Friday, I think. I could be wrong. Yeah.
Sorry to hear.
Anyway. Oh my god, who needs magic? She can snap knocked in half with her hands.
Yes, and that's why we love her.
I don't think it's
I know how to
sprained, just
patch up
twisted. You need
ankles.
rest. He slowly, neatly wraps my ankle with one of the stretchy bandages. He pins it in place like a pro's work. A professional ankle wrapper. I studied in scouts. Injuries and things don't bother me. Never have. Smile sheepishly, props my foot on big, fluffy ottomans. Now just keep elevated and rest a little. Take the ice off in 20 minutes. Thanks, Dr. Hayes. I'll make some coffee. I stress nap once Hayes goes back upstairs. Sometimes I need a system shut down before I can think straight again. I'm like 90% good now. I've been laying off the caffeine, and I don't know if it's coincidence, but I've been getting better. Nice.
Maybe it was more of a caffeine-related headache then?
Caffeine,
Sorry.
yeah, caffeine can do that to you, so.
Yeah, if you do too much. It just causes your brain to, like, overtly misfire, so it feels like a migraine. But...
I think it's more like if you're taking too much caffeine, and then you just, like, I don't know. But anyway. Do we need to take a 5-minute break for you to catch your breath and
I'm trying to squish my diaphragm down now, so we're good. Maybe.
Maybe. I think even the cats know something's up because they're all swarming me. I've got one on my lap, others piled around me. It's soothing to hear them and feel their little paws stretching out on me. I feel a hand gently brush my hair from my face. I don't need to open my eyes to know it's Mason. I sigh and wriggle further down into the couch. Oh, she doesn't sit. Instead, she kisses my forehead and I hear her step back to the door. Back to her vigil. I shoot awake when I hear the door fly open. Is it knocked? Did he come right through the front door? It's Finley! She did a solid snake move and got the cat. With a box.
But he's angry now. Well, it's your fault now. You have to deal with the other cats.
Yes. I glance to the door and find Mason's strong back. Someone else he can't use against me. Mason's way too strong for him. Maybe this time she'll make him run off for good. If he even tries it, maybe he's already scared off. I can't help but smile. Maybe, when this is all over, she can teach me how to box. Okay.
Darn straight she can.
My brain is already in overdrive 24/7. Caffeine makes me relaxed. Oh. See, I have heard...
Not der Untertoten?
Undertoten? Oh, that one.
Yes.
That comment.
I know it's not der Untoten.
I don't know
not
German,
sure.
so I don't know what's being said.
I know German, but I have no idea what it is.
It's a zombies
Ah.
map. In COD. You mean in COD? But yeah, no, I did coffee for about 10 years, and I have had plenty of customers say that caffeine makes them relax and they need it to sleep and stuff like that. So you're one of those crazy people I see. I'm just kidding.
Don't worry. My dad's one of them too. He drinks 4 or 5 cups of coffee a day, and I do mean like the big bulk-sized coffees.
Mm-hmm. He drinks too much coffee. I see movement in front of the cafe. Is it? Nah, there's too many people for it to be knocked. Anyway, I'd know that hat anywhere. It's Reese and Landry back already with Graves, or what used to be Graves. Are we not to the new stuff yet? Nobody touch him unless you're properly protected, I guess.
He's an ugly guard gnome. What do we do?
Oh, that's right. He's got to teach them magic for a while.
Yep. And then after everybody gives up on magic, I think we have our next scene. Being a teacher is hard. It's like herding cats.
That sounds great. Landry, Finley, Landry, Reese, Dracula. First shift is guard. Great, I'll take the other guard shift. Everyone else relax. Okay, please be something new. Okay, I'm surprised Mason doesn't volunteer. I feel her hand on my shoulder. She looks tired, but I think Mason is tougher than sleep itself.
Come on, I'll help you upstairs.
ADHD/ADD brain gang.
Woo!
Thank you. She scoops me in her arms like carrying a bride over the threshold and stomps her way upstairs.
Stomp, 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 stomp.
It's so quiet. Empty. Reese ducks in to scoop Graves' sweet old cat Dracula and is just as quickly gone. Then it's just us. There's so much going on. It doesn't feel real. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm asleep. She ruffles my hair and her face softens.
Get some rest.
Meh. She puts her arm around me and I nestle against her. I'm out. I wander in and out of sleep, but the slow rise and fall of Mason's breathing lulls me back each time.
It's better than Mason.
I just don't get why my brain likes to look ahead while I'm reading, and then it'll take some of the words that are ahead and put it into the word that I'm saying. It just doesn't make sense.
It's part of, the difference between your usual reading pace and then reading aloud. It's just a mental mishap that happens when you're not used to reading aloud.
It's embarrassing. Maybe I can sleep through this. Everyone else can take care of it, and then we can all get back to work. And while I'm at it, why not get ambitious? Maybe everything really is a dream. Like cats and witches? Magic? It's ridiculous. Crash. A car crash. Ooh. Or a large window shattered with a metal bat. It sounds like that. Sleep is ripped from me and I shoot up from the couch with a scream. I see Mason standing before me as if shielding me. Broken glasses everywhere. And there, balancing on the shattered window frame with a rusty bat in hand, is Noct.
Knew you squatters were here. It's the damnedest thing, let me tell ya. Here I am, trying to enter my cafe, and you know what I found? A bunch of wards. Do you believe it? Was the damnedest thing, let me tell ya. Wait.
It's just on my territory.
Why did the entire thing blink like it went to a whole new thing?
I think your computer was lagging and then it caught up or something.
Yeah, no, because the whole darn thing blinked for me.
On my territory.
I was gonna say, do you believe it? On my territory. I can't.
Oh, it's me. Sorry, I thought it was him. I can't think. I don't get this. How did he get up here? How is he balancing like that? What am I supposed to do?
Of course, I should have thought of it. Of course Graves would give my property away. The hell wouldn't he? He ain't like he plays fair. I'll bet he... So I say to myself, I'll bet he didn't arm his floor. Classic mistake, yeah. And he wouldn't know it. He ain't got up here.
Try one more time.
This is starting to get strange. Hold on. And wouldn't you know it? He ain't got him up here. Lucky he didn't get robbed. Bless his heart. Step in.
Welcome to my corner.
Go on. Dare ya. Calm yourself, Missy. I'm talking basic security stuff. Stuff that discourages your regular crooks and what have yous. Turns out he only forgot to ward his windows. I gotta say, here, it's a damn shame that could get glass all up my boots.
Why does this matter? Why does he keep talking to us? His words lap in my ears like dark, soothing waves, almost like they're trying to slip in. The air tastes like metal. What do you want? Leave us alone. You already said you can't get in, just give up and leave.
No can do. See, I got my mind set and taking him for all he's worth. And once I'm all set, well, I ain't gonna spoil it for ya. These words are gonna get weaker and weaker. But I ain't. One day I'm gonna push on and wait.
One day I'm gonna push on him.
Yeah. Sometimes the way that he's written it just is hard to read.
Sometimes he's got really strong, like, Cajun accent kind of thing going on, and it's like, where did that come from?
One day I'm gonna push on him, and then...
He snaps his fingers.
Poof.
Poof.
So, let's negotiate. How about you give up and give me the bill?
I wish I had something to throw at him. I've never been angrier at Graves for keeping such a clean apartment. I can't make any magic like this. Gotta think fast. Are you saying there's no trash? Gee, I wonder why.
He's so unused to this environment, he needs more trash in his life.
Gotta think fast. I can't beat this guy with skill alone. We'll have to get crafty. I grab Mason's sleeve. When she looks at me, I lean in and murmur in her ear. Mason, I need trash. Like, really bad.
I need it now.
Oh.
What?
For my magic. My magic only works on trash.
What?
My brain's going in overdrive. Raccoon vibes. Yes. I thought I told you. Avery is definitely a trash panda.
Very much so.
His last name's Gray. So it makes sense. Raccoons are gray, right?
Usually. Grayish brownish.
My brain's going in overdrive. I feel the wheels turning, but I need more time to figure something out. If only I had a distraction. Just stall for me for a bit, okay? I gotta come up with something. Mostly.
Yeah, alright.
Mason's got one mode of Mason's got one mode of distraction, and it's intimidation. She walks up to Noct and gives him a solid push to the chest. He must be magically glued to the windowsill because he doesn't budge. She leans in closer, close enough he has to feel her breath, and smiles.
You. Meet me out front. We'll settle this. No magic, no weapons, no nonsense. Just you, me, and our fists. You ain't got a clue, do you?
This is how she always turns to rust every playthrough.
Fun. I'm not here for fun. Yeah. Yeah, you are. Look at that grin. You're out hunting. I know the type. Just another thug. Looking for a thrill.
Yeah, she's right. You're a 2-bit punk picking on baby witches you know won't put up a fight. That's good, Mason. Stall some more.
Ha! Don't waste your time. I got a real long temper. But I got no problem with honoring last requests.
I'm gonna read you your last rites.
Meet me out front, Missy. And you better scoot with her, kitten. Wouldn't want you plotting anything while I'm gone.
Yeah, whatever.
Wow, Avery, so brave.
Mason cracks her knuckles, then her neck. She gives a wave and disappears back downstairs. Noct is staring at me, waiting. I don't want to be up here by myself with him, but I need to do something first. I duck into the kitchen and grab the bag from the recycling bin. I'll worry about what's in here later, but for now, I gotta go.
Forget something.
Catch me outside, how about that? Exactly. Just taking out the trash. I'm not doing anything suspicious. I'm not sus.
Quit your stalling unless you want to lose the chance to say your goodbyes.
I scurry for the door. I've got the bag of recycling over my shoulder when I burst through the front door. Bust through, not burst. Everyone else is still in there and they crowd around the door as I head out. I'm surprised to say it, but Noct is true to his word. He leaves his bat at Graves' feet. What a jerk. Reese looks ready to go and punch Noct himself, but Landry restrains him. Landry's right. I wouldn't want to get between those two. They circle each other like... They circle each other, snarling like dogs, goading each other. Mason's the first to strike. She lunges at Noct faster than I've ever moved in my life. She only barely misses, knocking him out again. I think he took a hit, but he's pretty quick and his back's to me. It's hard to see what's happening. It's all a mess of fists and fury. He swings, but Mason is faster and good at dodging. I think Noct might tire himself out and make this easier on her. I wonder if that's her plan.
You're not, very good at this. I'm just a little rusty.
Puns. Boo!
What? Oh, come on. A punny villain is the best villain.
Get a day job! This guy. That's all the opening Mason needs. She decks him in the jaw so hard I'm not sure he has teeth anymore. It hurts to look at, but he doesn't move. He looks down and grins. He's not hurt, not even a little. Mason is. She doubles over, clenching her wrist. Mason! What did he do? Does he have a steel jaw? Is he hiding something? I rushed her aside, but her head whips up and she stares me down. I stop.
Don't touch me.
Before I can ask why, she opens her hand. Her other hand is frozen in a fist. More accurately, it's rusted shut. You said no magic!
I lied.
If I don't do something quick, then we'll have 2 rust statues in the front yard of the cafe. 3 probably, because he'll come for me next. I can't let that happen. I can't let Mason get hurt like this. I reach into the recycling bag. Here goes nothing. If you're gonna use magic, so can I. I pull out plastic sorry, I missed an A there. Who needs it?
Jug! That's the name of my Pokemon.
We don't need articles in English. It's overdone. I pull out a plastic jug and use my magic to wrap it around my hands. I harden it into something more substantial, something sharper. I try my best to at least make it look a little cool. You're not wrong. Tasty. He is becoming full metal. It's just plastic now.
Oh boy.
He's got a full he's got an arm blade and brass knuckles. I don't know if they make full arm brass knuckles. I think I just made this up. If they did, they sure as hell wouldn't make them out of recycled plastic. But hell, I don't have any better ideas. Let's go. I've never been in a fight in my life. Well, unless you count that time in 4th grade, but that's not the time for semantics. I'm counting this one as my actual first.
Plastic. Magic ain't plumbing, kitten. It don't work that way. Graves should have taught you that.
Jay says the full plastic alchemist. Chinese
Yes.
anime. Chinese knockoff anime.
Yeah, perfect since it's made out of plastic. It's not very sturdy.
I like it. You don't think in fights, right? You just go on guts and instinct, right? No, not really. I mean, yes, there's reaction times, but I hope to anything listening. Okay, I hope to anything listening that I'm right and I throw a punch.
Ha! What was that? Oh, you're too much.
He just walks by me chuckling. Straight over to Graves and to his bat. He picks it up and points in the distance like he's calling a home run.
Gotta do something before this kills me. Too cute. Let's end this, yeah?
He swings the bat softly, like he's playing t-ball instead of hardball. All I can think to do is hold up my pathetic plastic bracers and hope it blocks both the hit and the magic. It actually does. I kick his shin, but I'd have better results kicking a rusted wall. This is pointless. What am I even doing? He raises his bat again, but Mason catches it. Oh, that's a cool splash art.
Oh, yes it is. Don't you dare touch them.
You know, she really should have said, "Come here, bitch."
How that's you, sworn villain.
Do the whole scorpion bit. Come here.
Get over here.
Yes, that one. Mason, no. You'll make the rust spread. Oh, I just noticed they didn't even put the rust on her hand like it should have been. Because her one of her hands is rusted
It's
off.
supposed to be rusted
Yeah.
over. Yeah.
I lunged to pull her back, but it's like moving a statue. And I look up and she's not rusted at all. Oh. So she broke out of it. She's fire.
She's too hot to touch.
This girl is on fire. A blue flame glows around her hands like a simmering stovetop. Rust crackles away from the metal bat.
You know how you loosen a rusty bolt?
Holy crap, her fingers are digging into the metal. What? And how is she moving her hand?
Apply heat.
I could see Nox straining to wrench the bat free. She's got him. Wait, he could just let go of it and rust her with the hands again, couldn't he? I can't let that happen. I tear the stupid plastic gauntlet off my hand and melt it into a sticky mess. Then, here goes nothing, I throw myself at Noct and loop the plastic between his wrists and the bat. Try dropping it now, scumbucket.
There.
Noct struggles to free himself, but Landry and Reese join us, glowing gloves equipped to hold him in place. Mason wrenches her hands away. The rusty bat snaps like a rotten tree trunk. You'll move, buddy. Or wait, can't move at all, can you? Better turn Graves back and promise to leave us alone, or Mason's gonna melt the rest of you. Noct doesn't answer. He stares behind us with an expression so fierce, I worry that it might also melt metal.
It's quite alright, Avery.
Ha? I whirl around. Rust falls from Graves in grotesque, crackling flakes. I feel like that was a lot less climactic. And whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not as dramatic as the other playthroughs have been so far.
Well, I don't know. Think about it this way. Mason's already a boss in a video game. You're already gonna have a hard time against her, even if you have magic powers.
That's true, but she so totally should have went Super Saiyan and, like, completely set herself on fire. You know what I mean?
You wanted her to become one hot mama?
Uh-huh. I wanted her to be so intimidating, but it didn't happen.
Aw, what a shame.
I whirl around. Oh, yes, I already said that.
Not. Leave here and do not return. Or else my coven and I will make certain your next destination is somewhere whence you truly cannot return. Ha. Before that, humor me, will ya? Do ya think raising a scrappy little army is gonna save you? Cute idea. Good in theory. But I know what you are, Graves. Can't say. I know when. But I know you're gonna stop faking it. You're gonna slip. And that's when you'll find me instead.
Just go already.
So pushy, kitten. I see why the both of you get on so well.
I really hate it when he has that expression and he references you as kitten. It's just so uncomfortable every time.
I'm pretty sure they did that on purpose.
I'm sure.
Just for that expression.
I'm sure too. But it just bothers me.
Now, if you'll let me go, I'll be on my way.
Landry, Reese, and Mason stare at me expectantly. What am I supposed to do? I look to Graves.
Let him go. The rust largely came from the bath. He won't be able to make any more for a while.
Landry and Reese let go, but like hell I'm gonna undo the plastic. He can figure that out himself. Oh, he just snaps it in half with brute force. Okay then. He blows us a kiss as he walks backwards. Jeez. It might be a trick of the eyes, but it looks like he's sinking? With each step, he falls further into the asphalt like he's walking into the ocean. It parts for him like water as he walks. That's cool.
I will admit, that is pretty cool.
Like, no joke. A lot of the witch powers in this game are pretty cringe, or at least kind of silly.
Yeah.
That
Sunset King.
right? But
I ring a bell.
So far this and the, you know, walking into the earth and the seam splitter or whatever it's called, seam ripper.
The seam ripper.
Those are really cool. Kind of like my hero. What hero? Oh, My Hero Academia. That's what you're trying to say. I was like, what? Your hero...
Walks into the ground, slowly
Harry Styles kind of hero? Like, who inspires you? Some are awesome, most are weird. Yeah, yes, My Hero Academia. I figured it out.
That makes a
Took
lot
me
more
some
sense.
going.
She got there.
Eventually. Then he submerged. Gone. Forever. Into the earth. We all exhale like the air just returned to the world. Reese runs to Graves. I run to Mason. Mason! Mason, oh my god, did that rusty jerk hurt you? How's your hand?
I'm fine. See? Nothing even left.
Oh, why is... Oh, yeah, it's Cave. I was like, why is Cave capitalized?
It's supposed to be grave.
It's not Grave.
It's supposed to be. Totally is. That's why it's capitalized.
I gave the cafe back to Graves, of course. I don't want to be responsible for that, even on a non-magical level. I am no manager. He's been helpful around the place now, though he's still in and out as much as always. He seems more relaxed, though, you know? Like, he's got less on his mind. I thought Mason would go work for a grandpa, but she's still here. Said they'd drive each other up the wall if they worked together. She also said this place would fall apart without her. She's not wrong.
Nope.
I do what I can to help.
She's absolutely honest on that behalf.
Uh-huh. I do what I can to help now. She's such a good teacher that I've actually gotten good at baking. I almost said barking.
Oh no! Oh, my brain is going to terrible places. I blame you entirely.
Why?
Because you are saying things that make it even worse.
No, I'm saying, why did I want to put an R in there? There is no...
You just skip it and you move on. And now I can just see her. Now bark for me. Bark, 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 bark.
Yes, Jay. Bark, bark.
See? See? We knew it. Avery's a furry.
I've got to say, my strawberry shortcake is amazing. Her grandpa's a big help, too. He's here for lunch every day, and he always gives his opinion. He's real gruff about it, of course, but that just makes the rare compliments shine even more. It pushes me to improve. I hate getting up so early, but it's otherwise a lot of fun working in the kitchen. Mason says I should become a real... I'm gonna butcher that word. I think it's pâtissier?
Yeah.
Pâtissier?
Pastier. Pastier.
I'm kind of thinking about it. Give me a sec.
I think it's pastier or pastier, because it's a pastry chef. It's just the French word.
Right.
I know that much.
Unfortunately, Google does not have an easy, how do you say this?
Pâtissier.
Pâtissier.
Pastier.
Pâtissier. I have...
Pastry chef.
Yeah, I've never heard that particular word, to be honest with you.
I've heard it, but I've never heard it pronounced pastissier, I think.
Well, that's what Google says. Or at least the video that I was
think
watching.
that's the more appropriately French pronunciation. I think I've only heard it the mock American versions.
Probably. I'm kind of thinking about it. What do you think? Pretty good turnaround from being a lump on my aunt's couch, don't you think? Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to make a pastry cafe or something, or... Nah, I'm gonna stick with coffee. I like coffee.
Hey, you can be the Hayes to my Mason. How about that? I can make cake, kinda. They're not very pretty most of the time, but I can make them and they're tasty.
Alright, so as per usual, what do we feel about the whole route as a whole?
There's her cup. Look it. Before she goes away.
Right?
Oh, and she's gone. See, I've always enjoyed Mason's route just because she's the tough girl, which always makes it fun. But it's something where I liked how there was a little bit more depth to it. I liked how even when there was like your first visit to the basement when you guys are just chattering, similar to everybody else, it doesn't really lead up to anything that builds up, but it's something where it's just kind of an interesting interaction.
I kind of appreciate how in this particular route the main character wasn't super horny. Last couple routes that definitely were like
A little much.
A little too out there. Not saying I didn't enjoy it, just saying that like I like wholesomeness.
Yep. It being just pulled back just a little bit.
Yeah. I really liked Mason's character. I liked her arc. I really feel like that it was actually shorter than even maybe Landry's route. But
it only feels that way because she's so quiet. She doesn't talk very much.
Right.
And even when she did open up, she was quick and to the point about it. But that's just kind of her character archetype in a sense, where it makes sense for her.
You could still add stuff to it. You can always do that for a character who's quiet. I'm sure Hayes' route will have some depth to it.
Yeah, he'll have some depth to it too, but same thing. It's not going to be a lot, just because he has a naturally more quiet disposition. position.
I
which
don't
is
think that's going to be
unfortunately, I think-
true, though.
Mm,
I mean, sure, you're right. He's not going to have a lot of voice lines, but that still doesn't mean that there isn't going to be another character that comes in that will,
interact and
move
do
things more. Yeah.
Yeah, no. For that, I think Mason's grandpa worked really well. It's a lot better than the random bell witch for
Yeah.
Reese's route. And I think it's a little bit better than the random dubstep witch for Landry as well. It definitely makes for better character building.
Kaz, right? Or is it Kaz? I can't remember. What's his name? Kaz. I did like Kaz. I feel like Kaz, as a side character, was actually more fleshed out than some of the other side characters. Like Gina the cop. Yeah. Gina's just a cop. That's it. She's cool.
Yep.
But she's just kind of there. And Kaz, at least, has some
connection. Something interesting to actually connect them with everything.
So I guess Landry's route, sure, it was pretty disappointing thus far. Out of all the other routes, Landry's route was disappointing. But I feel like there were some redeeming things in it, at least.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, admittingly, Kaz was pretty cool. Which is why I said that he was better off than the Bell Witch.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like, I'm here and fancy now.
Asmodeus.
Yes.
I like, I just like how funny Asmodeus is, okay? He's literally, he's just a shoo-in, but it was still funny.
Yeah, I guess. But it's one of those ones where I definitely like Mason's route a lot more. And yes, she was a little more quiet, so it felt a little more empty. But it's those little personal things where you're like, oh, she came over and she fell asleep on my shoulders. Oh, I visited and she eyeballed me as a cat while I was in her grandpa's cafe. Oh, we just kind of hung out in the kitchen, not saying much and enjoying each other's company. But I feel that's more the actual proper personality for her showing through. So for me, that doesn't bother me at all. I was like, yeah, no, that works just fine.
Mm-hmm. So, next question. What are our expectations going into Hayes' route?
He's gonna be a healer.
A healer. He's the white mage of the group, is that it?
Yes.
So we already met the light adept, or the black mage per se, and then the pyromancer, and now we're going to check out the white mage.
Yes.
I guess that would make Reese a time mage, probably?
I think so.
I think.
Yeah, because remember, he can rip open holes in time and space so that he can move through different
Not
places,
time.
so.
It's definitely space.
But, I mean, I would call that underneath the time witches stuff.
Yeah.
And then, poor Finley.
Finley is the nitwit of the group.
She's the, what is it? She does the,
She could just be...
those people who are constantly casting stop on things and it's not working.
I think
she's a general
if
caster.
we're relating her to Final Fantasy terms, job classes, I mean, I would say she is a bard.
Yeah, that would work.
Or thief, maybe.
I would say bard.
But anyway, I'm kind of thinking we might actually make this session shorter because I am already hungry. I guess I really, really want lunch or something.
Fair enough.
So we are probably going to do Hayes' route next session. And then hopefully we can do Hayes' route all in one go. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
And that way,
Cool.
when I'm doing the streams, I can have a thumbnail of the actual character instead of the thumbnail of half of the character's route, and then there's just this random character thrown in at the end.
Fair enough.
So,
fair enough.
I appreciate you guys being here. Thanks for chatting if you chatted. Hi, Betty. Thanks
Hello.
for just lurking if you lurked. I hope you enjoyed it. whatever experience you came into this stream looking for, I hope you came out feeling better, whatever.
Having enjoyed yourself and guilt to
Yes.
yourself maliciously while at work.
That's what I'm trying to say. I hope you enjoyed
Yeah.
yourself.